Michael Madsen is a unique actor. He is unique because he is indiscriminately acting in absolutely different movies, sometimes downright shitty. The actor considers himself a handyman willing to appear in any film as long as he is compensated. And he did it at the peak of his career, having starred in Thelma Louise and Reservoir Dogs. He followed it up with movies nobody wanted to see, which subsequently harmed his career. Madsen explained that he had too many children to feed. Today, we would like to talk about the specific career of Michael Madsen. Michael was an actor who worked as a driver, baggage handler, bartender, and chef, and he started out that way. He traveled around the various series and television shows, appearing in extras as a seventh act. He can be seen in the television series Miami Vice Quantum Lead and Crime Story. The more significant role he began to receive in the late 80s. The breakthrough for Michael was in 1991. On this year's big screens came just 3 influential Hollywood films. In The Doors, the actor wanted to play Jim Morrison, but Oliver Stone gave the role to Val Kilmer. In the end, Madsen got the role of Tom Baker. The actor also had luck with Thelma Louise, which was in pre-production for a long time. Initially, Michael tried out for a small role as a bully, but when Michelle Pfeiffer, Jodie Foster and Chris Christopherson left the project, Ridley Scott invited Madsen. The third film released was the iconic Reservoir Dogs. At the time of its release, nobody was interested in it, and the Steven Seagal film was at the top of the chart, and Dogs was not even in the top 10 on the earnings. But after a while, Reservoir Dogs became a cult movie, and the actors in the film became famous. And our hero was praised almost more than anyone else. The film's budget was only $1 million. Improvised. All the bands on the set were almost none. So actor Kirk Baltz, while getting ready to shoot, asked Madsen to take him for a ride in the trunk of a car to get used to the role. The film was promoted with individual posters, which was something new. At the audition, Madsen was able to beat actor Matt Dillon. Although Michael originally wanted to get another role, which then went to Steve Buscemi. In 1991, Thelma Louise performed best at the box office. The Doors and Reservoir Dogs were poorly received at the box office, and Michael was praised by audiences and critics in all three. It seemed that such a successful period in his career could take advantage of any actor. But Michael was not like everyone else, and in 1992 he starred in 5 films at once. Only one of them was shown in movie theaters. All the rest were either shot for television or released on video. If in 1,991 of his films were rated by the audience about 8 points, in 1,992 the movies have a rating of about 5 points out of 10. In 1993, Michael tried to make things right and even had one big hit. But Free Willy is hard to give Michael credit because he plays a supporting role there. But with Beyond the Law, the situation is different. With Michael as the antagonist, and the film had a considerable budget for 1993 of $18 million. When Madsen signed on for this movie, it was supposed to feature big star Charlie Sheen, and the script was based on actual events. But studio couldn't agree on distribution in the United States, and so almost everywhere else the film went straight to video. 1994 was a record year for Madsen. The first big movie was The Getaway, starring 2 stars Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. As a result, the movie with a $40 million budget ultimately failed at the box office. And then there was a joint project with Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner in those years was a major Hollywood star, and all his films made incredible profits for the studios. And Wyatt Earp was also supposed to be a success. But instead it became one of the major flops of 1994 and dealt the first blow to Costner's career. Perhaps because of his work in Wyatt Earp, Madsen missed the most significant career opportunity. Quentin Tarantino was shooting Pulp Fiction, and the role of Vincent Vega was intended for Michael, but he turned it down and the role went to John Travolta. In 1995, there were 5 films with Madsen again, 2 of which were released immediately on video. Mulholland Falls failed at the box office and received a Golden Raspberry. Despite this, one project performed well at the box office: C5 film Species. This film the actor considers one of the best films of his career. But about the sequel Species, 2 actors said the opposite and agreed to shoot only because of the significant fee. Perhaps just because of the first part of the Species, actor was able to time to appear in films with big budgets, and the opportunity to be shown in the movie theater. So in 1997 he played in the box office success Donnie Brasco. This year, Madsen had 6 more films coming out at once on video, and the audience rating of these films was on the level of 5 out of 10. In 2000, Michael appeared in 11 films, and the audience ratings dropped even lower. The actor starred in various series of average quality, but invariably the actor's career was saved by Quentin Tarantino. And in 2003, Kill Bill, the role of Madsen came out in the second plan. But because of this, he got into the next project of director Yves called Blood Rain. Another film in which the actor played a major role was The French Blueberry, but both films at the box office failed. Quentin Tarantino tried to save him again, and together with Robert Rodriguez took him to Sin City. They had initially planned to give him the role of Marv, an idea they quickly abandoned, and Madsen was signed for a more minor role. The actor then began acting in even more questionable films. The actor himself explained his appearance in such films.
"I probably made a few pictures I shouldn't have done, but I have 4 sons and I have to pay the rent. If you have a decision to make about whether or not you can buy groceries at the market or whether or not you're going to make a bad movie, you're going to make a bad movie."
In 2009, he was setting new records and starred in 18 films. Michael says that he often accidentally sees terrible movies on television and notices himself there. But to remember what kind of film it is, he cannot. So in 2015 he managed to star in 15 films, and there could have been more. But the shooting of The Hateful Eight took a very long time. Tarantino and Madsen's friendship almost ended because of this film. The movie's script was leaked on the internet, and according to Quentin, only 3 actors had the script. Bruce Dern and Michael Madsen were among the suspects. Their agents were blamed, and Tarantino had to change the script. Although many consider this scandal a promotion campaign to draw attention to the film, many call his love of alcohol one of the factors that influenced the actor's career. He was caught drunk driving a car several times and was fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. In addition to acting, Michael writes poetry and has published several collections of his writings. He is also interested in photography and has put together a collection of his photographs that have sold well. Michael is now 64 years old, and he has no plans to stop. He has already appeared in 20 films a year and could easily compete with Eric Roberts, who appears in 30, sometimes even 40 movies a year. Michael's career is best described by the actor himself.
"My career has been very strange. My career is like a heart monitor. I get involved in a good project now and then to keep things going. And then I make things that I work on that I hope are going to be good, so I can make a living and keep a roof over the heads of those little monsters I have in my house. You know, every movie you make can't be great, no matter who you are. Even Marlon Brando made some clinkers.